It's the pretty Omnic from the old concept art. She's gotta be the new hero.
And I now give to you the 29th hero in Overwatch, Elizabeth Caledonia Ash.
Oh. Well, then she's gotta be hero 30, right?
Echo is not hero 30.
Oh. Hero 31?
Echo is amazing.
hero.
She's awesome. She is not the next hero.
Okay.
I will tell you that.
Echo, Echo, Echo. We know her, we want her, and we're pretty sure she's gonna be a support. Her lift build doesn't work for a tank, and her gentle demeanor doesn't exactly scream DPS. The following are my best guesses as to what her support kit might be, based purely on her physical appearance, and things that would just be neat for her to have. Ever played a little game called League of Legends? They've got a whole lot of characters with a whole lot of powers, and it's just too tempting to steal one and redesign it. Nami, one of my personal favorite supports, has an ability called Ebb and Flow, a stream of water that bounces back and forth between allied and enemy champions, healing allies, and damaging enemies. I call the Echo version of this Program Oscillate. Instead of water, it's a yellow sphere with data streaming off of it like a comet. For the enemies, it appears purple. It can start on either an ally or an enemy, but will always fling itself to the nearest opposite, and stops when there are none. When the ball disappears, Echo can fire another one. I figure only having one on the field at a time would be fair if it did a significant amount of healing and damage. If she could fire multiple balls at once, then the healing and damage per ball would have to be pretty low. I would also like to make use of a hinted future game mechanic, non-recoverable health. If Program Oscillate bounces on an ally at full or near full health, it adds X amount of overhealing, probably represented by a dark gray color. Remember this thing? If you don't, this is a collage of different character concepts from back when Overwatch was still called Prometheus. Here you can see an early incarnation of Echo called Iris, along with 3 abilities: Particle Beam, Speed Boost, and Shield. It's safe to assume that certain other heroes went on to inherit those abilities, but what if her kit still had them in some form? For example, what if we combined the Particle Beam with Speed Boost? Well, that's exactly what I did for Alternate Fire. Program Hasten. Imagine a Mercy-esque beam, but instead of healing or damage boosting, it makes a single ally really, really fast. I'm talking faster than Lucio's speed boost when he uses Amp It Up, but a little slower than Reinhardt's charge and Hammond's grapple boost. What's the benefit of speed boosting only one ally, you may ask? Oh, tons! If you and a teammate die within seconds of one another, both you and them can get back to the point in record time. You could help your Symmetra get to the objective on a control map before the other team, and then watch your enemies all walk into the fun surprise waiting for them. You can swoop back and forth between allies and help them during the big team fight, like assisting Zenyatta's escape from the diving Doomfist, or helping your nano-boosted Reinhardt kill everyone. At first, I was gonna make this a lifeline type ability where she could literally drag people to safety, but then I quickly remembered that not everyone who plays Overwatch is a good person.
Well, 1-2 buckle my shoe. It sure is a zippity-doo-dah day here in the middle of nowhere.
Thanks.
What?
Put it on my
What
tab.
the yeehaw?
Come here, big boy.
Echo, I don't know how you found me, but, listen, about leaving you in the middle of Route 66, I didn't mean nothing by it. You're just, you're a strong, independent woman. You don't need no man. No, please, Echo!
Going back to the concept art, we still have Shield. We already have a support that holds a barrier, so what else can we do with that? Well, remember Symmetra's shield generator? What if Echo was the shield generator? Program Buffer. It's very straightforward. As long as Echo is alive, everyone on her team, regardless of where they are on the map, has an extra 50 recoverable shield. Granted, any body shot from any DPS hero can melt through that, but it's nice to have that free extra cushion. Good enough to be useful, but not so good that it makes Echo a must-pick. Why not have it be an aura with a set radius? It could be, sure, but that would encourage a Deathball playstyle, and I want Echo to be more flexible than that. If you're still contemplating the mechanics of Program Hasten, you might be curious as to how fast Echo herself can move. How does she keep up with her speedy teammate? Is her base movement speed
Abnormally fast!
Nope, her base movement is about normal. However, when you use the next ability with Program Hasten,
You remember the little red button? Yeah. Push the little red button.
they will be keeping up with you, not the other way around. Program Flight, a toggled ability that lets you kind of fly. It's more like moving very quickly while floating a meter off the ground. Hey, I had to do something with those wings. If it's going to be toggled and not held in check by a resource meter or cooldown, then it needs some kind of drawback in order to balance it. Therefore, you cannot use your primary fire while Program Flight is active. It's intentionally reminiscent of Lucio's need to choose between speed and healing. Unlike my Mirembe concept, I'm giving Echo more than one way of healing her allies. However, this next ability is not an easy peasy free healsies type of thing. Instead, you empower your friends to heal themselves, if they can get good. Program Data Mine is Echo's way of saying, here, go heal yourself, bucko, imbuing her ally with Lifesteal for X number of seconds. For the duration, the affected ally has Echo's symbol floating above their head, as a fair warning to the enemy players, while healing for 40% of the damage they deal. Imagine turning a ranged hero like McCree into Reaper 2 Electric Boogaloo, or perhaps Reaper 2
The Reckoning.
Speaking of Reaper, you might be wondering if Program Data Mine can stack with Reaper's Lifesteal. Well, let me assure you. Yes. Yes, it can. So now imagine an 80% Lifesteal Reaper getting speed pocketed by Echo as he makes his big play. Are you scared? Good. You should be. That being said, it's an ability that could be easily flubbed if you give it to a weak link on the team, but the potential it has necessitates a long cooldown. Probably 15 or even 20 seconds like Baptiste's Immortality Field. Have you ever wanted to be the big damn hero who intimidated the whole enemy team off the point with one sick move, but can't because you've willingly sacrificed your soul to support hell? Well, have I got some swell news for you, in the form of ionstorm.exe. With a mighty cry of,
Get the fuck out of my neighborhood.
Echo unleashes a dark blue mist with crackles of white light over a Lucio aura-sized area, enough to cover most objectives. Any enemies brave or foolish enough to step in will find that the storm actually does no damage on its own, leading them to think that the bark is worse than the bite. That is, until your team attacks and they discover, much to their dismay, what the true effect of the storm is. A massive debuff. Think Zenyatta's Discord Orb on steroids. The goal of this ultimate is mostly area denial, but you might get some picks out of it too if the enemy team gets cocky. An enemy Sombra's EMP will clear the storm, but Ion Storm EXE works great as a combo with your Sombra's EMP, making them easy pickings for your 80% Lifesteal Reaper the Hedgehog. In my opinion, announcing her on stage at the next Blizzcon is fitting for a character with this much hype. Perhaps similar to Blizzcon 28, Echo will make an appearance in the animated short and be announced as Hero 32 right after.
Hello? Hey, what's up? I need your help. Can you come here?
Hi.
I can't. I'm buying clothes. All right, well, hurry up and come over here. I can't find them. What do you mean you can't find them? I can't find them. There's only soup. What do you mean there's only soup? It means there's only soup. Well, then get out of the soup aisle! All right, you don't have to shout at me! There's more soup! What do you mean there's more soup? There's just more soup! Go into the next aisle! There's still soup! Where are you right now? I'm at soup! What do you mean you're at soup? I mean I'm at soup! What store are you in? I'm at the soup store! Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Fuck you!
In all seriousness, my actual prediction for the animated short is that it'll revolve around Mercy answering the recall. She's gonna be all like, "No way, fam, not going back, haha."
Overwatch was shut down for a reason. Maybe it's best it stay that way.
Then Talon's gonna show up, all like,
Surprise, bitch.
but then Echo shows up in the nick of time to help. And so does Baptiste, because he did say he was gonna track down Mercy. They fight Talon, and in the aftermath, Mercy decides to go back to Overwatch after all. However, there is one pitfall to this whole thing if Echo is indeed a support. Blizzard has an established pattern of releasing one of each type of hero per year. We already got our 2019 support character in March. If Blizzard intends to keep this pattern going, then the Blizzcon hero will be a DPS. That being said, they might break from the pattern, and we might get a support hero at BlizzCon. But if they drop a DPS, it's not the end of the world. In fact, we may just get an equally highly requested character instead. Oh, why yes, I do have some ideas about how Sojourn might play out as a DPS hero. If that sounds interesting to you, perhaps consider, for a moment, using certain tools at your disposal for the expressed purpose of keeping you in touch with my future spicy content. Please come back! I'm so lonely!